Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wrestling fans, and sports entertainment fans of all ages, thank you for joining us here in the No Shave Man Cave. You betcha. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here today in the No Shave Man Cave. And I am just chomping at the bit. I've been out and about doing some scuba diving, hanging out with Mama Mrs. ElliJare, and we had a blast. Got a little bit of sun and some fun. And I tell you, I have been clamoring to get on the mic and talk about what everybody else is talking about. We are on the road to WrestleMania. We are talking storylines. We are talking people getting over, people going over, people being a little bit in their feels on what some of the other veterans are talking about, Hall of Famers and non Hall of Famers. So, super, super pumped to be here with you today in the cave. And I tell you, congratulations to the first couple of names that have been announced for the Wrestling Hall of Fame brought to you by the WWE and Rey Mysterio, a Triple Crown winner, a winner of every title and every opportunity to succeed and hold a trophy, minus the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, but that's relatively new. So shout out to him and everything that he's been doing since back in the day. This may be another one that we got to shout out to Mr. Heyman for, because without Paul, um, from what I'm hearing, allegedly, we wouldn't have lucha wrestling like we do to this extent. Uh, you know, they were. Paul Heyman got some word during his ECW days that there was this dude flying around giving it all kinds of business in Mexico. And he would reach out to Conan. Conan would say, "Hey, I got this guy. I got this guy." Next thing uh, you know, Rey Mysterio has competed in WWE, ECW, WCW, and worst thing that ever happened. Thank you to Mr. Bischoff. Seeing Ray without the mask, I mean, it made no sense, zero business sense. But I guess, if you're not sitting there as the booker making the decisions or whatever, you basically have to do, whatever you're told. But thankfully, he'll finish his career with one of the most famous mask designs, the three-quarter mask with the cross on the front of it. So Rey Mysterio going in. Also, kind of cool, like when you read his lineage, something that isn't listed, a couple things actually that aren't listed is Rey Mysterio's involvement with one of the most fantastic wrestling periods, shows, episodic TV, whatever you want to call it, Lucha Underground. And I tell you, Lucha Underground, I've posted a couple of sites on our Twitter. So if you interested in that, flip through our No Shave Man Cave on Twitter. And I've dropped a couple of videos on our YouTube, and I'll continue to upgrade our Instagram presence as well. But man, the things that he was doing, and he was injured, which held up his return to the WWE. He had a shoulder and a meniscus thing. I don't know how many knee surgeries he's had, but it's more than one, right? So congratulations to Rey Mysterio, ECW, WWE, WCW, AAA, CMLL, Lucha Underground. There's another one that will come to me after we're all done. But I tell you, just super, super cool to see everything that he's done, and being an undersized wrestler, performer, entertainer, just fan freaking tastic. So I don't know if he could be any more proud of a career that he's made for himself and the name that he's made for himself. they're probably talking the big talk. Well, wait a minute. He's going to be featured in a prominent match. I would venture to say that'll be night two with Dom and Ray. Eventually, it'll come to that. Um, he'll go into the Hall of Fame. Does Ray teach Dom a lesson? Does Dom beat Ray? Um, and then Ray goes on for a determined amount of time over on SmackDown, and then they cross paths again. And there's some kind of a finish that involves Dominic getting a mask. I'm not really sure, but that's definitely something that everybody's talking about. So kudos to Ray, um, fantastic career. You know, I've been watching him for 20 plus years, watching him grow, and just fantastic. Some of those matches that he had with Juventud, Guerrero, when they had the cruiserweight championship, and him and Dean Malenko would go at it. Oh, talk to me. If you want to see straight up clinic wrestling 101, that's exactly where you go. So some of the other things that the wrestling world is talking about is the rumored tag team, allegedly, that's going to be joining the class of 2023, along with Rey Mysterio, who I would assume makes an ass out of you and me, will be the headliner in that class. The Rougeaus are going to be brought into the WWE Hall of Fame. So they had multiple runs, multiple tag team championships. The Mountie had his own run by himself for a little while, and had some injuries and some other stuff had occurred in his personal life that sort of derailed him. So no, but definitely something that the wrestling world is talking about. The big talk. I don't want to say argue to say big talk is definitely what is the WWE look like after WrestleMania. Hold on. Let's not start talking about what WWE is going to look like after WrestleMania. Let's talk about what WrestleMania is going to look like, right? How many NXT superstars are we going to bring on the main card? Are we going to have a battle royal? Are we going to see every single title change hands? I would venture to say that both of the women's titles are going to change hands. Not that Bianca and Charlotte haven't been fantastic champions. I think it's time. I think it's absolutely time that we see Rhea Ripley carrying around that SmackDown championship, and Asuka with the Monday night with the Raw title. Absolutely fantastic. Sidetracked, talking about what Dana Brooke had talked about in an interview recently. She was on the WWE podcast. Kudos to the host over there at the WWE podcast. Really, really cool show. Only about WWE, nothing against, focusing only on WWE, but um, great, great content, very fun listen, not annoying like some podcasts can come off. So good job to the team over there for the WWE podcast. So one of the things though that Dana Brooke was talking about was she was hoping that the 24/7 title would sort of morph into the Intercontinental title for the women's division. And I've long talked about, and I think Bully has talked about it, Claudio has talked about it, New Japan even went in, all in, and gave a or developed a title. It's the TV title. It's your workhorse championship. Is That's a title that's on every single week, and Zack Sabre Jr. has it, and a fantastic technical wrestler. He's going to be in the G1, and I hope and I'm crossing my fingers here. I hope that Brian Danielson and him cross paths because styles make fights, right? And if you're a power puncher and you go against someone who's, gonna get you in the corner, get you against the ropes, and just kind of rope a dope you, and you're gonna punch yourself out, whatever. No, 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 no. Both of these wrestlers have sick cardio, can go at like every facet of their game is strong, and I really hope that they cross paths. So good luck to everybody in the G1 Classic. I think it will be something that, as wrestling fans, you're definitely going to want to tune into. And if you don't have the New Japan or um, it crosses on Vice TV and Access TV, and you can grab it on YouTube. And there's the New Japan World app that you can get to check it out. But definitely take a look at the G1 Classic. All the performers over there just smashing it, and it's really coming together. New Japan and then New Japan Strong, which is more of a North American produced product, and you're seeing the Monets and the New Japan United States title is going to be featured heavily on that program. They just finished up a tour through California, and they're going to be heading east, coming to the tri-state area, and a couple other showings, Central States and stuff like that. So I think that's gonna be awesome. But so back to what I was talking about. So Dana Brooke was talking about how she was hoping that eventually the 24/7 title would morph into the women's intercontinental title. Now, I'm a huge fan, and if you look um, over my right shoulder, I've got the uh, NWA United States Championship, the one that Dusty held, and then this one Booker T rocked for a little bit. You can see the WWE current United States title and the most glorious title in wrestling right now, the New Japan United States title, and then you've got the America's Championship that Sergeant Slaughter made famous. And I've got a couple other championships. If you kind of pan down, you can see my um, the title that John Cena would rock and do the open challenge. Now, imagine if you were to name a title, make it the basically the equivalent of the United States title, my personal favorite title, uh, my personal favorite. You take the United States title and you name it Lady Liberty title or something along those lines, bro. How awesome would that be? And make that one of your cross promotion. It can be defended on Monday and Friday night. Hell, if you want to include NXT in that, they've got a relatively deep roster and would absolutely make that a very very fun championship to absolutely have on the book. So great interview that Dana gave. Thank you for the fantastic ideas, and that is something that wrestling fans are talking about, along with the card that is developing with WrestleMania. You've got the night one main event. If I had the pencil, the night one main event would be Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, absolute barn burner. Um, I would open the show with the Usos versus Sammy and Kevin, and just the the pop, just the pomp and circumstance and the fun that that match would give you. Um, I could also see them bringing out the Intercontinental Championship with Gunther against Sheamus against Drew McIntyre. I know they've got a match coming up. They're gonna face again to avoid the three-way. I don't think there's gonna be a clean finish. I think there's gonna be a double disqualification, double count out, something, and that's that's just what you're stuck with. So um, so I mean, there's that, right? Now you've got the talk of what's going on with the women's tag team championships. So Ronda is dealing with a hairline fracture, and I've been bumped and bruised and broken bones and stuff, but you have a bone bruise or a hairline fracture, it's I mean, what can you do? Maybe you're gonna set it, maybe I don't I mean, plus she's the most dangerous woman on the planet. So I mean, there it counts for that. And she's given birth. So I mean, and she's been in the ring with, and she's a UFC Hall of Famer. So I think she's going to be okay. They'll be able to get a program put together where Trish and Lita will face the women's tag team championship. Well, wait a minute. I thought that there was a 6-woman tag match as well. Yes, there is, and that was Trish, Lita, and Becky against Damage Control. That'll obviously be a night one show. I don't know that you would open with that, but why not? I mean, getting Becky on TV would be a lot of fun, and then Bailey would be able to draw some major heat. Plus, I'm sure Lita's been putting in the work, and Trish looked fantastic, so I'm sure she's going to be ready to. Me go, let the spirits carry me. Then what else are we talking about? If we're not talking about WrestleMania coming to you on the 1st and 2nd of April, coming to you from SoFi. You've got all of the podcasts heading to LA, hosting shows and really drumming up some awesome talk about professional wrestling. But what else? What else are we talking about, right? We just had an awesome, awesome debut of Dragon Lee down in NXT, and he's got a great style. He's got a fantastic look. I don't think he'll be down in NXT very long. I'm not sure who he'll battle with when he comes up because you've got Phantasmo, which I mean they're baby faces, so um, yeah. So I'm stuck when it comes to who he would battle or if he's gonna flip the script and become a heel. It's hard to sell heels with masks. You can still do dastardly things. So definitely something that everybody's talking about. Another thing that everybody's talking about, my sort of gateway into professional wrestling was none other than Jerry the King Lawler. Watching him, uh, I believe it was 79, watching him throw a fireball into Bill Dundee. It was either Bill Dundee or Austin Idol um, into their face, and it was on TV, like normal TV, and just launched that fireball, and I was just like, I am in, I am sold, can't get enough. Let's freaking do this. I've been hooked on professional wrestling. So 79, I was 5 years old. Lock it up. Don't be rude. And I am 48 years old now. So 43 years, I have watched professional wrestling. And outside of the multiple deployments that I've done, 13, um, I have I've really not broken away from professional wrestling. Professional wrestling, love me some college football. Go Notre Dame! Thank you to the crew over at Danny Boy's Draft Works right there across from the campus. Hooked me up with a shirt when I went to the game. Very very good time. Way too many people jammed into a very small space, and I looked over at the sign, and I think the sign said like 274, like the number of people that could fit in there. And if there weren't 275 people, I don't want to get anyone shut down, but brother, it was tight. And I know I'm always saying tight is right, but bro, it was tight. Some other things we're talking about, Jerry the King Lawler, thank you for all the memories and everything you've done. Couldn't be happier to say the Hall of Famer, the King, has made his way home. So good stuff, and happy to report that. So he's made his way home. Other things that we're talking about, looks like Edge allegedly has only got a couple more dates on his dance card with the WWE. Now, this does a couple of things. This sprinkles a little bit of doubt on if he'll stick around on a Legends deal, if he'll stick around WWE, or if he's going to make his way over to AEW and go out on a in a blaze of glory with Edge and Christian, and take take professional wrestling, take tag team wrestling to the next level with AEW. I wouldn't be mad at that. And the feeling when Cody left AEW, it's a lot different with Edge leaving WWE. Edge didn't make WWE. Edge didn't build WWE from a one night challenge by a beat writer for wrestling, and Cody and the Bucks and Hangman and Omega and a bunch of crazies went and found a stadium in Nebraska and filled it in 4 minutes with 10,000 rabid fans for something different. He, he performed at an exceptional level, and thankfully he's back in professional wrestling. Thankfully he's able to perform at a level that he's able to. But if he wants to go boogie someplace else, I don't know how we can be mad. How we can be mad at that. I'm stoked that he's still able to go, right. So a couple other things that we're talking about is John Cena has announced that he is available for the next 3 weeks, every week on TV, to continue to cut promos and build this storied match with Austin Theory. Tell me how excited you are about this. Drop it in the comments. Like, subscribe, follow, do whatever you have to do. Drop it in the comments. How jacked are you to see? You can't see me, but you will. You'll see John Cena, and you'll love and you'll hate him. What can he do to and for Austin Theory to get him over? Because John Cena's not going to walk out with the United States title. There's no way. No way. Now, there is a way, and it totally would flip professional wrestling script, because you're supposed to go out on your shield, and you're supposed to go out the right way and do right by the business, blah, blah, blah. John Cena recently said in an interview, I believe this is the last time that I'll be coming to the Boston Garden as a WWE superstar. Then he goes and gives Cody the ultimate rub when he like awkwardly introduces him, Cody Rhodes, and still, like, I got nothing. I don't know what that was. Cody didn't need the rub, but he got it. God bless America. Let's go do this thing. So Cody comes out. He's the world champion, both titles. Night after WrestleMania. So book your tickets to Monday Night Raw on the 3rd of April. I'm gonna venture to say it's in California, and it is gonna be a freaking banger, because they're gonna bring everybody and their brother out to talk about Usos dropped the title. Roman got defeated. Paul Heyman is going to be in a certain way. He may or may not get stunned a half a dozen times. Where is Solo Sikoa in all this? This is something that nobody's talking about, because he has played his role. He's played his part perfectly to a T. He has been the heavy be seen, not heard, outside of that little blood curdling scream that he gives before he goes to hit you with the Samoan spike. So I, man, I am, whew, I am stoked like a fire, and I can't wait to see how this whole thing transpires. So, a couple other things that folks are talking about is, are we going to involve Rikishi in this storyline? Because you had Jay and Jimmy talking, and then Jay was like, "Well, I blame one person. I blame one person. I blame one person." And he says, "Sammy, come on, dude. Jay, it's just me and you here, right? Just me, you, and we've got like 3,500 downloads with the podcast. Just me and you, Jay. Who do you really blame, Jay? It's just me and you. Who do you really blame? You blame Roman, man. You blame Roman." So now there's another little, if we're talking armor, we're talking another little chink in the armor. Maybe it's in the shoulder area. Maybe now your ribs are exposed. But man, I tell you, I am loving this story that's being told. The growth of Jimmy and Jay. I'd hate to see them go separate ways and be singles performers, because I love the storytelling that they're doing. So, you know, hail to who's ever the prominent producer of that product. I know Heyman plays a huge role in it, and again, without Heyman, let's think back. Without Heyman, you wouldn't have had some of the storylines that developed that put Rey Mysterio in the Hall of Fame. You wouldn't have the ECW chants everywhere you go. You wouldn't have some of those wrestlers that cut their teeth in ECW and made themselves in ECW in order to get over to get to the WWE. The Stone Colds. You wouldn't have the one of the most beautiful wrestling minds in all of professional wrestling, Tommy Dreamer, Bully. You wouldn't have. I mean, granted, the WWE version of ECW with the Hardys carrying the ECW world title, and um, Jack Swagger holding the ECW world title. Obviously, that's not what everybody's talking about, but Paul Heyman definitely has a mind for it. And um, what came out of ECW, just like what came out of Lucha Underground, you think about, Prince Puma is Ricochet. You've got the Machine, still Cage, who's over with AEW for the next little bit. His contract is coming up. I'd love to see him in the ring with some of the big guys over in WWE. Something else everybody's talking about is, what on earth are they doing with Wardlow? Okay, I get it. Oh, trust the process, has Tony Khan ever let you down before? Blah 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 blah. Okay. How on earth are you going to take the title off a guy on his first events after some of those promos that he did with with JR? I'll wait. All right, so now you're hearing that. Dun-dun-dun-dun. It makes no sense. But hey, I don't have the pencil, and you know, I'm not necessarily going to trust the process, but I hope we see Wardlow on a card near you. And if it happens to be a WWE card, sign me up twice on Sunday, because I'd be in it to win it. So, a couple other things we're talking about: Kofi Kingston, he's out for about another 4 or 5 weeks. Fluke injury when he caught a wrestler flying off the top, kind of tweaked his ankle a little bit. So no surgery, nothing major. So he'll be back in short order shortly after WrestleMania, which sucks because that's a pretty decent payday, and I'm all about them ends, right? Alexa Bliss had to take a little bit of a break. She's getting her personal affairs in order. So I would anticipate when she comes back, um, I would put a rocket on her and push her straight to the top. So I couldn't be more excited for that. So One other thing before we wrap it up, I gotta tell you, Gunther said something interesting recently that he liked the veterans, the Hall of Famers, the celebrities coming into WWE. He thought it brought the necessary attention to the WWE and necessary attention to what he was trying to do. So, or what WWE is trying to do in like that normal market. So, shout out to Gunther seeing it like a business and love what he's got going on. That body transformation, everything with Imperium, I think that would be a lot of fun. They would be the next faction, I would think, that he carries the title for a little bit. Maybe he drops it coming out of WrestleMania. He goes away for a little bit, comes back, and he takes one version of the world title, and Cody takes the other one. So I think that that would be a lot of fun. So hey, I've gabbed long enough today, but hey, this is what everybody's talking about here in the world of professional wrestling. So on behalf of Jay Tilly, thank you for joining us here in the No Shave Man Cave right here on YouTube. So if you like what you hear, subscribe, follow, and come check us out on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Stitcher and Amazon Music and wherever you get your podcasts as well. So check us out. We drop new episodes on Tuesdays, on Thursdays, on Saturdays, and every now and then we'll drop our casual conversation. So we're here for it. Hopefully you are too. Thank you for everything that you do. Look out for yourselves, look out for one another, and I'll see you on the floor.